the next video I'm gonna do will be the first chapter of James Patterson's The Hostage, just to try and work through that. So it's a short chapter for me, but it's still a long chapter for a video. So, Mayfair, London, 2016. Welcome, friends and honoured guests, to the brand new Tribeca Luxury Hotel, here in the heart of the world-famous Mayfair district of London. 30 years ago, in conjunction with my esteemed business partner, Oscar Miller, I opened the first Tribeca Luxury Hotel in New York City. My aim today remains exactly as it was those 30 years ago: to deliver the ultimate in indulgence and service, set in the most opulent and tranquil surroundings. When we opened our very first hotel, we placed our guests and the service we provided them at the very heart of everything we did. I am proud to say across our 27 luxury hotels in operation around the world today, and of course in this our 28th, that personal service remains. Every guest is treated as an individual and welcomed every time they visit as if they are returning to their very own home, the most luxurious home in the world. In 3 days' time, I will fulfill a lifelong ambition of opening a luxury hotel in Mayfair. For the very first time, we are bringing our unparalleled levels of exclusive accommodation, opulence and pure indulgence to the people of London and its international visitors. We take delight in offering our guests incomparable levels of comfort, consideration and security, and our brand new 40 floors of palatial rooms are our finest demonstration of this yet. We are honoured you are able to join us today at the exclusive preview of what I believe is the finest hotel in the world. Each one of you is my personal guest, and I could not be more thrilled to welcome you to the new home of luxury in London, the Tribeca Hotel. Jackson Harlington, Chairman, Tribeca Luxury Hotels. Stanley Sampson stood in the marbled lobby and watched as each VIP guest was handed a branded magazine with a welcome letter from Jackson Harlington. This wasn't an event for ordinary travel writers. This wasn't even an event for the bosses of travel writers. This was an event for their bosses' bosses. And when it came to the grand opening of a Tribeca Luxury Hotel, Stanley knew that everyone wanted to attend and no one wanted to be overlooked. Browsing through the magazine, guests would find a feature on each of the group's luxury hotels located around the world, from New York to Paris, Singapore to Beijing. But it went without saying, the greatest prominence was given to this brand new London hotel. Gatefold photographs captured the beauty of the interior and the amazing accommodation available to the richest and most famous in the world. Stanley was aware years of preparation had gone into this day. Every exclusive suite individually styled, every room its own unique furniture. Selected and purchased by the world's most renowned interior designers, flowers adorned the hotel with fresh bouquets in every room. Private chefs had been appointed to every suite, and individual butlers would serve every treasured guest. On the 40th floor, an oasis of calm had been created, with an infinity pool offering commanding views across London and into the neighbouring Royal Palace gardens. No expense had been spared in preparation for the opening of the new hotel. Everyone in London was talking about it, and nobody wanted to miss out. Before it even opened its doors, the hotel was fully booked for the next 2 years. Fully booked unless you were the President of the United States, a member of the royal family, or a superstar of international fame. For them, Tribeca Luxury Hotels prided itself on always having a suite available. As the assistant to the global head of security for the luxury hotel group, Stanley was waiting by the express glass elevator to accompany Jackson Harlington, his family and his business partner Oscar Miller across the marbled lobby of the hotel to its majestic new front entrance. There Harlington and Miller would throw open the doors and invite inside the world's press, as they had at the grand opening of every single Tribeca luxury hotel for the past 30 years. Stanley never failed to be amazed by each Tribeca hotel he visited around the world. Every one of them offered a higher level of luxury than the last. For Stanley, the hotels were beyond his wildest dreams, and he appreciated every night he got to stay in one of the rooms. even if it was in a room reserved for staff guests. Being present at the opening of a hotel in his hometown made him feel particularly proud. He knew the London hotel was certain to be an enormous success and was delighted to be playing his small part in it. He looked out across the lobby, through its vast glass frontage, at the gathering crowd standing on the front lawns. Hearing the string quartet play, he watched as guests reached for their glasses of vintage champagne and foie gras canapes. For a moment he felt a slight pang of jealousy, but contented himself with the thought of the freshly baked chocolate muffins being delivered to the kitchen later in the morning. But as he closely watched the events on the front lawn, Stanley had failed to notice that the express elevator journeyed from the 25th to the 38th floor. With a ski mask pulled tightly down across his face, an uninvited guest was dragging his petrified hostage down the hall on the 38th floor toward the presidential suite. The hostage had been pistol-whipped by his captor and was drifting in and out of consciousness. As the captor clicked open the door to the lavish suite, his hostage began to stir and become aware of his surroundings. The captor didn't care. His hostage's arms were tied at his wrists and his legs bound at his ankles. He threw the man face down onto the suite's super king bed, made up with the world's finest Egyptian cotton sheets. The hostage struggled to try to turn himself over, but as he rolled himself breathlessly onto his side, he was greeted by the sight of his captor standing over him. Picking up a heavy-duty rope from beside the bed, he was tying a hangman's noose. Panic flooded across his body. Trapped and tired, he was physically defenseless. He knew his only hope was to talk to his captor. "Tell me what you want. If it's money, I'll get whatever you ask for. I'm a wealthy man. I can get you anything. Absolutely anything. Just tell me what it is you want." In silence, the captor continued to tie the noose. The hostage sat himself upright on the bed. "I can get you cash here today, or I can put you on a plane to anywhere. Anywhere in the world. You hear me? I have more money than you could ever dream of." The captor tightened the noose. "I say, did you hear me?" screamed the hostage. "I have more money than you could ever dream of." The captor walked to the bed and stuck his hostage on the side of the head, throwing him back down. The noose was tied. "Tell me what you want. You must want something. Make demands. Make them now. I can pay you. I'll pay you anything." But the captor had slipped the noose over his head and was dragging him to his feet. The hostage cried for help, but it was hopeless. With the exception of the invited gathering 38 floors below, the hotel was empty. Being pulled like a dog with the noose choking his airway, the hostage followed his captor out of the balcony of the presidential suite. 38 floors below, standing on the carefully manicured lawns, the gathering luminaries were being served the finest caviar, flown in from Russia that morning. Savouring every mouthful, their enjoyment was suddenly interrupted by an ear-splitting crash. Looking skywards, they saw shards of glass falling like ice towards the ground. Standing on the edge of the balcony was a masked man with a hostage tied in a noose. Slowly the man raised a knife, ripped through the shirt of his captive. In the gardens below, guests began to scream. Forcing his hostage to his knees, his arms above his head, the captor tied his wrists tightly to the iron frame, all that remained of the presidential balcony. He secured the noose. Then, with one kick, he pushed his hostage off the edge of the balcony, leaving the man hanging 38 floors above the ground. So that is the end of the first chapter of The Hostage, and I will keep going with that on as time goes by. And I